Yeah, it certainly is, Julia. And getting a look at what to expect for fire danger today, it's still on the forefront of our minds. Fire danger is remaining high today. It's going to be dry. It's going to be breezy. The winds not as strong for your Wednesday as what we saw outside yesterday. If you're in the valley, mountain areas, seeing some fairly gusty conditions overnight. Those are starting to wind down a little bit, though. Temperatures today, mid to high 50s in the valley. Winds out of the north up to 15 miles an hour in the valley with gusts potentially up to 25 miles an hour, but it looks like those are already starting to settle down. Humidity, this is one of the bigger problems for fire danger today. Down to as low as 3% in some parts of the valley, below 15% for the entire valley this afternoon. So it is still very dry. That does lend itself to easy fire starts. Fire danger today is going to be high. Getting a look at your fire danger outlook over the next 5 days. Today, fire danger is still high. Over the next several days, as humidity continues to stay low, fire danger will be in the moderate range, but it won't be as windy, so that's the good news. That's why we're seeing it dropping. If we had any rain in sight, we could see that falling into the low range, or even if we had higher humidity projected, that's just not going to be the case. We're still seeing moderate fire danger in your extended forecast. The red flag warning still in effect through 4 p.m. this afternoon. Gusty winds still an issue for us. They're not quite as bad as yesterday, though. Humidity is going to be dangerously low. Very dry fuels are also in store for us today. Humidity starting out below 30% this morning. So this is not where we want to be right now. Below 15% starting out today in Redding and Red Bluff. Both of these cities likely to dip into the single digits for your afternoon. Low single digits at that. It's going to be dry enough to really spark fires easily. Stay cautious today. This is going to be a big issue for us. Meanwhile, a wind advisory still in effect right now, not for the valley, but in portions of the Sierra and foothills. You can see this is including Shasta, Tehama, Butte, and Plumas counties. Gusts this morning still up to around 60 miles an hour are possible. The latest gust in the Jarbo Gap area, 50 miles an hour in the last hour. Just after midnight, we were clocking gusts there at 65 miles an hour. So it's been very windy in some of those mountain areas overnight. Meanwhile, sustained winds right now, 10 miles an hour out of the northeast in Red Bluff, starting to get a little bit lower for those peak gusts throughout the day, maybe up to around 15 to 17 miles an hour in the North Valley, 20 mile an hour gusts possible in the Mid Valley, starting to really taper down this afternoon. Winds tonight really diminishing, getting much lighter across our region. We'll see some gusts maybe to 15 miles an hour in the foothills tonight. Really not looking like that big of an issue for us. Meanwhile, as we look at what we're seeing for high temperatures today, 30s to 40s are expected for your low temperatures in the mountains this morning. We're seeing 20s to 30s there. Mostly 40s in the valley this morning, but Chico, 36 degrees right now. High temperatures are still going to be below average as well. Satellite and radar showing you clear skies overhead right now. Expanding that look, here's what's really driving our forecast. We have low pressure off to our north and east. Now this is starting to track off to the east. As it does so, we really start to see those pressure gradients loosening. That allows the lighter winds to develop. And then we see high pressure building in. That's going to warm us up. We still have that cold air mass from that area of low pressure off to the east. That's not going to be as big of a factor as we move forward in your forecast. And we do stay sunny and dry moving through your upcoming weekend. Your hyperlocal futurecast really not showing you any kind of a change of pace overhead as far as the skies are concerned. Not really seeing many clouds, no showers in sight. Feel free to leave the umbrella at home, but Julia, you're going to want to keep the jacket handy for the next several mornings. Temperatures this afternoon, mid to high 60s in the valley later today, 50s in most mountain areas, high 50s to low 60s in the foothills, and ahead in your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast where your weekend is always in view. High fire danger continues today mainly due to the very dry conditions. Winds are not as problematic as what we saw outside yesterday, but still strong enough to cause a few issues. Low 70s, not as windy tomorrow, and humidity not quite as low, but still low enough to cause moderate fire danger. Low to mid 70s continuing through your weekend. Again, your Halloween forecast looking pretty comfortable out there with low 70s on the way, mid 70s and sunny through your weekend. And don't forget, set your clocks back 1 hour on Saturday into Sunday. Getting a look at Redding, 68 degrees, fire danger staying high today, really due to the low humidity. Winds not as big of an issue this afternoon. Low to mid 70s for Halloween with sunny skies, mid to high 70s then returning for Friday through Tuesday of your extended forecast. Not a whole lot of variety out there, but it is very comfortable for your upcoming weekend.